Do you remember what you did as a kid? I have quite a few memories, you could say. If my brothers or my sister were unkind to me, if they shoved me, no brainer, you shove them back. If they hurt me, I hurt them back. If they were cruel in their words, I was cruel right back, and I usually added a little zest. Now, for small children, we could say that a shove is self-defense as an innate reaction to an attack. Now, what little ones don't know yet, but they do learn quickly, is that regardless of who strikes first, both really get in trouble usually. Both are punished. At least that's what happened in my house, and my dad always said it takes two. So in our weaker moments, this natural impulse can rear its destructive head in our adult lives as well. When we hear something, we could say, he or she said, "What? Well, really, let me tell you about their issues." But when we allow ugliness in our hearts, it takes up residence. It's like it invites its friends over. And its friends aren't friends that you really want in your home or in your life. Those friends are bitterness, loneliness, and rage. And those come in when we allow that ugliness in our life, and they spread out. They take up more and more space, and they crowd out the peace and the patience and the goodness of Jesus. And this is why we have to seek God, and we have to seek to do good to one another and to all. Not because we're going to be punished, it shouldn't be out of our fear, but it's because our hearts are going to be filled with a vitalizing goodness, the gifts of God's Spirit. And so you might say, well, what does that mean? The Bible gives us some evidence of what will happen when God lives with us and His Spirit dwells in our lives, and it's called fruit of the Spirit. And this is Galatians 5:22 and 23 in the Message, so it's a little more descriptive. And here it goes. But what happens when we live God's way? He brings gifts into our lives much the same way that fruit appears in an orchard. Things like affection for others, exuberance about life. We develop a willingness to stick with things. Man, sticking with things, a sense of compassion in the heart, and a conviction that a basic holiness permeates things and people. We find ourselves involved in loyal commitments, not needing to force our own way in life, and able to marshal and direct our energies wisely. Legalism is helpless in bringing this about. It only gets in the way. Among those who belong to Christ, everything connected with getting our own way and mindlessly responding to what everyone else calls necessity is killed off for good. It's crucified. It's taken away because God fills us up with the good things. So today, let's just wrap this up and just ask God to fill us with good things. And we just ask your Holy Spirit, God, to produce gifts in our lives. Will you fill us with your fruit this morning? Would you make us fruity, I guess we're asking for. We need fruit of love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and self-control, gentleness. God, would you bring those things into our lives? No matter what is done to us, would you help us to respond with love and with that kind of kindness to people in our lives? So I hope you have a great week, and I will catch up with you soon.